All right, Steven.
Yo.
Noah and I have a little bit of a story to tell you.
Story time. I like
Had
it.
happened earlier today at our, Bro Says brunch.
Really?
First of all, you weren't even... Where were you?
We went to brunch. We just... we heard screaming and we were like...
You didn't even...
No.
Wow.
Wow, Steven.
No.
You were there, bro.
terrible.
Okay.
All I saw was I saw something happening and I was like...
Yeah.
It's too
All right,
early for this. It's too early.
Let's...
It was 11 o'clock.
No, let's try to... I mean, to be fair, we went to Orion this morning for a couple of hours before brunch, so we were like...
Yeah, on
we
crack.
we had coffee. We were ready
We
to...
were energized.
We were ready to cause some problems. So yeah, there were some apples today at Chuck's. For whatever reason, a couple people got some apples. A couple people got some forks. I don't know if you know where we're going with this, but there's a little game that everyone holds a fork, and what you do is someone starts with an apple in their hand. They toss it up to the person across the table. That person tries to catch it on their fork.
Okay.
If they do that, then still holding the fork, they have to try to toss it to the next person across the table, catch it on their fork. By the end of it, if you're doing it right, your apple is going to look like a porcupine, with just it's about how many forks you can get on the apple.
I think the highest we got today was 12.
I thought we hit 15.
Really?
I don't
remember that.
I don't know. 12 to 15 to something. We were kind of happy about it.
You're gunning.
We went through maybe 2-3 apples. We were just having a blast. We ended up... I think somebody ate the apples. I don't know, but we kind of left it there. We had our fun. We left brunch. We went on throughout our day. Then dinner came around. Dinner. And so what happened was a couple people wanted to play the game again.
Run it back.
Of
But
course.
little this time a couple people were opposed.
Oh, really?
So
But not at our table.
So no, there were some people at our table still opposed. We had to fight it. We had to fight for our cause a little bit. So I grabbed the handful full of forks, put them down, set my apple down, went to go get some chocolate milk because what dinner isn't complete without a nice
Chocolate
glass of
milk.
chocolate milk. And I came back to Josh eating the apple.
Really?
Josh did not want to play the game.
Oh, what a
And
rebel. What a great
Noah and
party.
I's friends Connor and Gavin are visiting this weekend, and Connor had an orange, and Amy at the table said, "Hey, asked me what are the odds I take that orange and go try to trade it with the first person with an apple I can see." So, no, I asked her that.
Okay.
She did 1 and 2.
Why? That's so dumb.
So when you do odds of 1 and 2, that means somebody has to do it.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
So if we pick the same number, she would have to do it.
Yeah.
I said 1, she said 2, which means I had to do it. So I grabbed the orange, stood up, walked down. They were literally 2 tables down. They were really close. There was a guy. I was like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And he just kind of looked up a little nervous.
It's like, oh.
So I'm just standing there with this orange. I was like, "So that apple you got there, would you be interested in trading up for this orange?"
Trading up. I like
Trading up.
That's marketing
Trading
101 right there.
And he was like, "How much you want this apple?" And I was like, "Dude, I need this apple." And he was like, "You know what? All right." We traded, shook hands, we went for it. We're in business. Walked back over to the table. We got all our forks out. The only 2-3 people that were playing it because no one else wanted to play it. We started doing our thing, kept going. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this big old arm just reached down, picked up the apple from us.
Oh, he just took it
Out
off
of
the
somebody's
ice, off the
hands.
ice?
Out of somebody's hands, and it was one of the Pioneer manager dudes, one of the Chuck dudes.
Wow.
And he was like, "Guys, we can't be doing this. If you're not gonna eat it, I'm gonna have to take it. You can give me that apple. You can give me all the silverware." Josh was like, "Oh, I'll eat it." I was planning on eating it. So the dude sat there and took out every single fork from the apple.
Wow.
And just handed it back to Josh and just kind of looked at him, took a big bite of the apple.
While looking at him?
Yeah.
And
That's
took our
wild.
pile of forks
Took
that
our
we had
pile
as
of
took
forks
our
as
reservoir
backup.
of forks.
Hey, I was going to use that.
And he just walked out. So we ended up eating apples. I don't know if there's I was trying to find some sort of moral to this story.
Nah, you know
It's-
what?
Don't be afraid to have fun in Chuck's.
Hey, yeah, I was about to say, definitely go for it. But maybe don't sit at one of the first tables right outside the kitchen.
You know the strat. The
That's
strat,
true.
Like, here's the strat for y'all.
What's
Just
up?
do upchucks.
Dude, see, upchucks, you could like
Nobody cares about upchucks.
you could go like multiple tables. We could be hucking that thing
or-
across the upchucks.
Or no.
all the way up and down.
From upchucks,
all the way down.
toss
to
it
another-
down onto a fork.
Yo,
Ooh, that would be a good game.
that's like apple trick shots.
Exactly.
That's advanced.
Dude, perfect. We're coming for your neck.
Some dude perfect apple trick shots. I love that
Yeah.
idea.
My
I think
parents would think of that as straight foolishness. So I will not be participating with y'all
Who said it was
officially.
recorded?
officially.
I mean, Amy did when she recorded me going and
I saw it.
trading.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Where'd
it's
you
a
put it?
game.
I
I
think
still haven't seen it.
I think she just showed it to me like because we went to the basketball.
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
We need to put that on our on the 3 East Facebook page
Or Barstool.
or something, or we need to send it to Barstool as well. Also, if we're doing those trick shots, we're making a trick shot video and sending
A
it to
compilation,
Barstool.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. But anyways, hello and welcome back to another episode of the College Years Podcasts with your 3 hosts, Noah the pastor,
Hello.
Steven the programmer,
Hey.
and Jonathan the photographer. Today, I'm going to be taking you through the topic. It's a little different. Haven't done that in a little bit. We're going to be talking about kind of all things tattoos, piercings, and body painting. I forget exactly the word we use, but all that kind of stuff. I think that'll be really interesting to hear your guys' opinions on it, and how that stacks up to the biblical knowledge that we have from these subjects. But before we can do that, we have to do the same things every time. Follow us on all of our Instagrams. They're always linked. Rate the podcast, like it, comment, do all your stuff. Send us your questions. We answer as many of them as possible if they are actually relevant and make sense and are not just asking me if I use Photoshop or Lightroom more. Or are just, the random
The random stuff
questions.
we get, it's wild.
They
Or
gotta,
people asking for shoutouts instead of like
just like shout me out. So we
instead of actually asking
we don't answer
questions.
that.
Here's
That's
the thing: we're not even popular to
No.
give shout-outs. Stop asking for shout-outs.
getting a shout out isn't gonna make you famous.
It might actually have the negative effect. You might lose followers.
Honestly, it might.
They're like,
It
they're
really
like-
could.
some people might not like this podcast, and they're like, you know what?
And
Just
be
because
like-
that
be
guy,
like, if that person got a shout out, no,
Nah, fam.
no, I can't associate myself with that. Also, we have something a little different. We got to address real quick in this episode.
oof.
Episode 6 came out today.
Yeah.
It was great. Hope you guys like it and
Watch
have-
the video. I
hope
say
you-
watch the video.
Yeah, there's a little surprise at the beginning of the video on
It's
YouTube.
really great.
If you never watched it, it's just the best thing you'll ever see. I'm gonna
bless
hype
your
it up.
heart.
I'm gonna hype it up so much you will not be disappointed.
kind of like how Dr. White hopped up. What do you call it?
What do you hype
Thursday's
up?
Chapel.
Yes.
Yes, he hyped it up a lot.
No. But that's not what we need to address. Episode 5, if you follow our social media, we had to take it down for a little bit. For those of you who didn't get to that part of the episode, or did, you might have noticed.
Yeah, you know why we took it down.
We just have a little bit of an editing problem. There's a little segment. Sometimes we get questions really late, so we'll pause this recording so we can go through, look at questions. We can write them down so then we can resume the recording so we can get some good questions for everyone. This time we forgot to edit that out and we left it in. So yeah, there's not much to it. It was just an editing error. That's why it was down temporarily, but it is back up. So if you never finished listening to it, go and finish because that's a great episode. What was that episode on?
It was on youth groups, I believe.
Yes.
No, that was
Or
last
no,
episode.
no,
that was episode 6.
music.
This
5 was music. Music was a really good one. I like that one for sure. But let's before we start talking about tattoos and piercings and all that fun stuff, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. All right, and welcome back. Let's dive right in. Boys, first question. Hopefully this will cause a little bit of a good conversation. Are you guys for or against tattoos and body art? It's a simple yes or no right now to begin with.
Yes, I am for it.
Steven.
Because you said simple yes or no. Yes.
All right. And I'll say yes. But nobody wants to just hear a yes or no. Why?
Well, because a lot of the arguments against it is that scripture is against it, and the one verse that's very specific about tattoos, that word doesn't mean the modern understanding of tattoo as ink that's injected into the skin. It's more talking about ritualistic kind of markings, tearing of the skin.
Get 'em, Pastor.
It comes from Levitical law, where God told Israel to be separate from the other nations, and that means to separate their ritualistic and religious practices from the pagan nations.
I will say, I have heard a counter to that argument, and it was that when you're using a tattoo, when you're tattooing somebody, you are still tearing skin.
I mean, I guess in a way you're still like scarring
the
skin by injecting it with ink, but
so
like I guess I would understand that.
That's the argument that I've heard.
That argument, that's fair. But yeah, kind of like Noah, I feel like the arguments I've heard against it aren't really necessarily anything with it. I have certain views that I'll discuss a little later for like why I'm personally not getting tattoos and going to specifics like that. But I just answered the next question. But do you boys personally want any tattoos?
I've thought about it a lot. I'm definitely thinking a lot about it and leaning towards getting one. I just don't know specifically what kind of design I'd want.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it. It's definitely something I want to do at some point. Just right now, I don't know what specifically I would get.
Okay. So do you want to kind of talk about this a little more? Are you someone that'd want to get like a big tattoo, whole sleeve, a little dime-sized one on your wrist somewhere? Like what are you thinking of? What are you thinking about doing right now?
So really keeping it to around the arm, chest-ish area. Just smaller ones, not necessarily a sleeve, but like I'd probably be the stereotypical pastor, get a Greek or Hebrew root word. There's this visual that's actually on the back of my laptop of John 1:5 about the light of the world that pierces the darkness.
Yeah,
just the simple little candlelight I was thinking about getting on my shoulder.
Okay.
And just other ideas I have, but if I ended up getting tattoos, I'd probably get quite a few. But.
That's fair. Okay. Steven, what about you?
Why I am for tattoos, kind of like what you guys said. There's an argument against it, but then also I think it's one of those things where it depends on like your Christian liberty. Like it can stumble somebody, yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, like I've never had a conviction against getting one.
Right.
The reason I haven't gotten one is kind of more of like a personal thing, like a family thing.
Okay.
And it's me like respecting what my parents told me to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like once I'm able to get one, once I'm also able to pay for one too, because they're really
That's
expensive.
true.
Facts.
That is true.
And if you want a good one, because if it's going to be
Exactly.
permanent, you might as well pay the extra money to make
Pay
sure
the
it's
extra
going
money
to
to
be good.
get a decent one.
Not that it's
Exactly.
in some back alley with a dude that'll charge you $10.
Yeah,
With a stick and a hammer.
a stick and hammer.
At stick and poke tattoos.
But it was free.
Yeah, those are bad.
So, are you thinking of getting any?
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
When I say a
give-
lot, I don't want to worry my parents thinking I'm just gonna,
I'm gonna tat everything.
thing is tatted. Nothing above the neck. 'Cause
Okay.
I think face tattoos are one of the worst things ever.
I've seen very few that actually look good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any that look good.
Yeah, neck tattoos are just a no-no for me. I don't know. Definitely something at least from elbow up.
Okay.
And then from I don't know, mid-thigh down.
Yeah,
Maybe.
okay.
Not covered, but like, hey, he has a cool tattoo there or something.
Okay,
like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Any like specific pieces like you're thinking of you want to get?
Definitely 1 Corinthians 10:31. Not the entire verse, but like, just maybe the reference. Yeah, just the reference.
Okay.
Probably do that like on the inside of my arm. Something that has to do with glorifying God in Arabic.
Okay.
Just because I like the Arabic language. I like how it looks as well.
Yeah.
When you're writing it in. But yeah, probably just something like that, and then who knows, maybe something superhero related or something like that.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. What do you? So like, it seems like both of you want to get them that like get tattoos on places that you could cover very easily.
Oh yeah.
What are your opinions on that? What are your views on that? I guess like for yourself and in general too. Whether they like where people should get them, where you want to get them, why you want to have them in a place that can be covered.
Well, even though the cultural attitudes are shifting, there are still people that will be convicted by that, and this is very much, since I don't see this as a sin issue. Some people make it a sin issue. I don't think it is. But this, in my eyes, would be a Christian liberty issue. Obviously, we are by no means, as Christians, obligated to get tattoos. That should be obvious, but somebody's gonna, misinterpret. So this clearly falls under Christian liberty. So for me, especially planning to go into full-time ministry, I want to have that opportunity that I could cover it, so that I don't cause somebody to stumble against my knowledge. Even if it's not my purpose to make somebody stumble, it could be like, Greek word could have agape, tattooed on my arm. Somebody might see that and be like, oh, that's still a tattoo, so therefore it is wrong. And I understand that because, not that long ago, tattoos were seen as, either for gangs or just for like rebellious people who are rebelling against the church.
Yeah.
So there are still those people, and there's probably people even in our generation that think that. So I just always want to keep that opportunity open to cover it.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not causing somebody to stumble by means that is not the gospel.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of like what Noah was saying. Definitely to make sure people don't stumble. Yeah. I never want to stumble any of my brothers or sisters.
Absolutely.
Also, kind of more from a professional aspect. It's not too professional, having a tattoo showing. Yeah, it's cool. I've actually been in, like, I've seen people in the computer science profession with whole sleeves on their left and right arms. Look sick. But, like, at the same time, there's always going to be a professional standard, no matter how much it's being minimized. Just, like, being cognizant of that. Also, sometimes it's just not presentable. Sometimes you have like a flaming skull tattoo on your right arm, and then like you shake your hand to meet the president or something like that. You're just like, ugh.
Is that one of the ones you're thinking of getting?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So another like, I guess question to follow up with that is talking about the tattoos. You guys have both said like all of the ideas you've talked about are like very Christian oriented tattoos. Like, is there a reason for that? Is there like more of a specific reason of like why you'd actually want to get a tattoo? Yeah. And yeah, you can.
I would say, like I said, I want 1 Corinthians 10:31 tattooed on my arm, and it's basically saying, I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, but it's like whatever you do, like eating or drinking, all that you do all for the glory of God. So I don't want a tattoo that's going to be like. There's nothing wrong with getting a tattoo that's like your initials or like. Your spouse's name or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. Like my personal conviction is that like if I'm going to get something like that, something that still is seen like controversial in Christian circles, I'm going to do something that glorifies God. If someone that's not saved sees me out in public, he sees like, I don't know, the inside of my arm. He's like, 1 Corinthians 10:31. What does that say?
Yeah.
Things like that. I kind of want to draw attention back to God.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's the person who deserves the glory.
Yeah, you kind of want conversation starters.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for me, just going back theologically to my identity is in Christ. And if I'm going to permanently mark my skin, I want it to be something that is God-centered and God-glorifying. Not that it's anything wrong to get pop culture references or somebody that's important to you. Just that, first of all, pop culture changes all the time. Yeah. So it's like not something I would personally want to get tattooed. Right. Like I love superheroes, love Star Wars, whatever. That's not something I would necessarily want to get on my skin.
Okay.
But like a word that's really stood out to me, or again, that visual that sort of struck me over the last year. Just that, and something that every time I look at it, it reminds me of that. And, I'm a very visual person, so I see, I have like objects or pictures that like really bring back a lot of memories for me. And having that on my skin would just be all the better for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'll answer this one as well. Of the ones that like I originally were thinking of were two different phrases in Spanish, which one of you guys, as you guys know, I do missions work in Guatemala. That's probably where I'm going to end up full time as like a career after college. So like Spanish is a big part of my life, but also like I would pick Spanish primarily also for the reason that like basically everyone I come into contact to daily speaks English, but not all of them speak Spanish. So it's just like you were saying, someone could ask me, oh, what does that mean in English?
Yeah.
And I can tie that back into both of the ones I was thinking of had very Christian themes.
Yeah.
And I'd be able to, talk about it through there.
Yeah. Just like, again, we are not saying that it's wrong for you to get a tattoo of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, no. If you like Spider-Man, get a tattoo of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
now I know it's a little nerve-wracking when Disney runs things in Disney, tends to make things controversial with the superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be careful. You don't know what path they're going to take Spider-Man down. But hey, if you like Spider-Man, go for it. Like, if your favorite food is a pineapple,
yo, get a pineapple.
Get a pineapple
from the neck down.
Yeah, yeah. Like, go for it. And yeah, we definitely, I feel like, share very similar opinions of where to put them, because I think although in like the American culture it's getting a lot more common, a lot less taboo to like have tattoos, I do agree with you, Stephen, of just kind of the professionalism that if you're going into a workplace, like, you should have. So yeah, you shouldn't have a pineapple on your forehead. Yeah, stick it on your arm, stick it on your chest somewhere, like. But that's totally our personal opinions. Yeah. About that. Like, do whatever you want. I wanted a quick share, because like you guys are both open to tattoos. You guys are both very much probably going to get tattoos, you'd say. Yes.
Yeah.
Likely.
Okay. So I kind of want to share my opinion of why I'm not going to get a tattoo, even though, like, if I could tomorrow, I'd go get them tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Basically, again, going to do a career in another country, and honestly, I don't know where God's going to send me. God could send me to Guatemala, or he could send me to Peru. He could send me halfway across the world, or he could keep me in Cedarville, Ohio, and I could do global outreach. Like, granted, I don't know where the Lord's going to send me. I feel like right now he's leading me to Guatemala, but to preface everything, for all I know, that could change, and he could change as soon as I graduate, or even before. But regardless of where I would actually be doing missions full time, there's a chance I would still be traveling all over the country, all over the world, to other countries, to do missions work. There's different meetings. There's a bunch of stuff. And with that, just because the American taboos and culture and stereotypes may be changing for our opinions for the better of tattoos, that doesn't mean other countries are. Yeah. So like, personally, I have to be really careful of that, because I could have a tattoo of Estamos aquí por una razón, which is what I wanted to get. That means we are here for a reason. There's clear Christian connotations to that. Yeah. As well as other personal stuff with that as well. But a kid in Peru still has the potential to come up to me and just be like, "You're going to hell." The Americans are here for a reason. Yeah, like, you're going to hell because you have a tattoo. Doesn't matter if I had a tattoo that said Jesus loves me. Mm-hmm. Their respect for me would be zero, and they would just be like, we're not going to listen to anything he has because he's just going to go to hell. And that's bad theology on their part, yes, but we still have to like live with that. What, you want to say something, Noah?
Yeah, I remember on my first missions trip, Guatemala, my sophomore year of high school, I remember one of the girls who was on the trip, she like drew a smiley face on like her ankle with, I think, a highlighter, I forget. And a kid came up to her and said, "That's not okay."
Yeah.
Even though like it was a marker, you know, you can wash it off. There's just still that very clear mindset.
For him, it was still her marking her body.
That's crazy.
Because down there, tattoos are very much affiliated with gang activity because gang activity is just so pervasive down there.
Yeah. And granted, I would be the organization I work with, AMG, it's working with a lot of kids, but you still have teachers, you still have adults, you still have people you have to work with. And although a kid might come up to me and say that, an older adult might not even look at me and might not even talk to me just because I have something, even if it's from halfway across, across the building and they can't read what it says, but just because they can see it.
That's wild.
It can cause a lot of problems. So with that, as of right now, my plan is not to get any as much as I'd like to. For those reasons.
Get a lip tattoo.
Get
one right on the inside of your lip.
That
was good.
I'll just walk around and be like, yo,
Jesus
tattoo, loves you. Pretty sure if I did that, that'd cause way more problems than
just get a purple. Just get a purple tattoo in there so you can say you're from Wakanda.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And
don't do that, please.
I kind of want to know how many people after seeing that movie went and got those tattoos.
Oh, there had to be at least some people.
There's probably way too many. I feel bad for all the tattoo artists that were doing just those for a week.
Yeah,
I mean, tattoo artists always complain about having to do infinity symbols because a lot of people get them.
Yeah, it's a very common and basic one to do. But also for me, there's even though like. Right now in Guatemala, the culture is slowly changing like America, not as quickly, but still tattoos are also normally related to gangs as well. Yeah. Again, literally does not matter what the tattoo is. Normally there's gang relation to it. But so there's do have to be careful with that. But kind of the last question so we all I do have other questions of what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, but I feel like we kind of talked about that.
Talked about it, yeah.
Also, we did not talk about piercings at all. But let's quick talk about that. For, against, why.
Okay. I would kind of do like for guys and girls.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I see, not like what I see is acceptable, but just like I don't know, personally for me and
what's your opinion?
Say my spouse. Guys can get ear piercing, and that's about it. Like, if I see you with a nose piercing, man, there's just like there's certain connotations that you cannot ever shake. Just like also, if you're gonna get one ear.
Don't you have to get the second?
Yeah.
Oh, get the left ear?
Yeah, left ear. Left is right. Right is not right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave it at.
Cool.
Dangling earrings for guys, that's a no-no. That's a huge no-no. It's just like I can't separate dangling earrings from that type of guy. That type of guy.
Yeah.
We all know what type of guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's about it. For girls, if you want to do nose, ears, multiple ears.
Okay.
Belly button, sure.
Yeah.
But like,
I got you.
Yeah. Eyebrow, maybe. Not my wife, though.
Okay.
Oh wow, Steven.
Oh, okay. Noah?
I just took it back to 1700s.
Because, I mean, I feel like we're all, like, for them. So, personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't care what piercing somebody has. For me, I probably won't get one.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I do not plan on getting one. And honestly, for girls, it's like whatever, but I'm not really a huge fan of piercings, like in general.
Gotcha.
So normally the more minimal the better.
Big fan of piercings.
Yeah, it's completely other random tangent to bring it back to tattoos because I just thought about that. What do you think about tattooing your wedding ring?
That's some buffoonery. Yo, imagine like you losing your finger though, but like,
when guys get it tattooed and they're like, now I can never lose my ring.
What if you lose your hand?
That's so morbid.
Jaws music has entered the chat.
Wow, I never expected it to turn to that. But I mean, hey, that's something that's really popular. That's like
really
in our culture.
I don't like that.
Here's a question for you: what causes you to change your opinion between tattoos and piercings?
In terms of what?
Like, why do you not care that? Why are they different from another?
Okay, so I think
Also, if they didn't hear the question.
Quick, I want to say something about the rings. Personally, that is one that I would get. Because I don't know why, but I have an irrational fear of getting a ring stuck on my finger.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's ever happened to me before, but it's something I live with.
So you just get the oil and you're just like.
So, dude, I would gladly get a tattoo of my ring so I would never have to actually wear a ring on my finger because I just don't know why. I just don't like the idea.
Just get a silicone ring.
That low-key sounds cheaper too.
Silicone is probably what like I will do.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially
like you can just
working
cut
in,
a piece of
I
silicone.
was about to say, and especially having to work in the field and stuff. Yeah, but like if I start freaking out, I don't want to go through a million silicone rings. But so our producer Kyle asked a question about what.
Okay. Basically, so the question was basically, why do you feel so loosely about piercings as opposed to tattoos? And my answer to that would be piercings, even though they might like have a permanent effect, like if you have them in your ear for a certain amount of time, they're not as permanent as tattoos. Tattoos is set and done. You can get them covered.
They still can technically be temporary. Of like you can take piercings out.
You can take piercings out.
Yeah.
You can't take tattoos out.
Even if you like got it like laser removed, it still leaves like an imprint of the old tattoo.
And that's so expensive and so painful to like get tattoos removed. But I think like for me, maybe I'm not actually as lenient because like if I think about the same kind of professionalism that I think about with tattoos, like I feel like if someone can't be tatted up on their like all over their face in a business sense, I don't think they should be able to have like piercings out the wazoo of ears and big bull rings with things hanging down.
Oh
and like,
no, not the bull rings. Yo, that's a big no. Bull
like,
rings, gauges.
Yeah,
and
no.
Devil horns.
Right. Like I think there is like a professionalism with that as well. And just like our culture is changing for tattoos, I think it is also changing for piercings that they're becoming less taboo in the workplace even as well. But I feel like they're going a lot slower than even like tattoos.
I would say so, yeah.
Are. But Noah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just for me, I'm not a huge I've never been big into like thinking about professionalism a lot. It's always seemed sort of vain to me, like a lot of cultural things. But yeah, I do understand that you should look professional. You shouldn't have like stuff all over your face and contrast that with like a formal suit, for example.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a little looser on that just because like, especially with tattoos and piercings, because I don't have a scriptural reason to be against them. It's a Christian liberty issue on that. So I'm just willing to give a lot more leniency on that just because like it's cultural and I usually don't put a lot of weight in culture in my personal opinion. Certain opinions, other things I'm unknowingly probably influenced by American culture with, but a lot of things that I can recognize as purely cultural, I tend to not care a lot about.
Is your worship pastor gonna have 2 giant holes in the side of their face? Have you guys seen like the people?
Yeah, the new thing with like taking the hole in your
Hey man, I can see my teeth. Oh,
again, I gotta say it depends.
Pearly white.
Like even though I personally don't have a problem with that, I have to be thinking about the congregation. I have to be thinking as a leader, not as me.
Yeah, Betty's not gonna let that fly.
So this might seem random, but I'm curious about this because I think this will help me. A lot of times these kinds of things are brought back to how we were raised and brought up. When you went to church on Sundays, did your parents have like kind of a dress code for you? What did you wear?
They still do.
Okay. What did you guys wear?
My mom sort of dressed us up, but as I sort of got older, I was the person that like really hated dressing up for the longest time. So like I was like, I don't really want to do this, and eventually my mom caved. So I sort of there was a time where I'd wear sweatpants to church and sort of look like that. But the church, my home church, Ridge Bible Church, like they're very casual about dress. Like some people dress up, but a lot of people are in jeans. So there was already that church culture there, and now I've started dressing up for church again. But really, my parents and family really didn't have a dress code, especially, during my teenage years.
Yeah. My parents, like, they still kind of have a dress code for me, and I'm like, I don't really have a problem with it. Like, I kind of sound like I do, but I really don't. It's kind of just like, hey, you gotta wear jeans on Sunday. One thing like Bible study, you can wear like sweatpants or whatever. It's kind of like they want me to be presentable, and like they don't want to lower the standard, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think mine like probably stemmed from like being a military family, but like growing up, we were dressed up. I remember like the first time I ever wore jeans to church. I felt like
a sinner.
I felt like a sinner. I felt like a heathen. I was like, why am I at church with jeans right now? And granted, there were plenty of people around me with jeans, but I was just like, why am I in jeans? This is terrible. Where are my khakis?
Yeah, I see people at Sunday service with like sweatpants at the whole church.
Yeah. But no, we just like we dressed up. It was like at least a button, collared shirt, khakis, like stuff like that. And I think like that's definitely carried through. I feel like the last couple of years I've definitely gotten like more casual, but like I wear jeans to church, but like I don't think I'll ever go like below jeans and having a collared shirt on.
Gotcha.
But that's just personal.
Sweatpants with a collared shirt?
That's it. Nope. No.
I'm gonna try it.
No.
Yes.
Okay. I think you can wear
tomorrow.
I think you can wear sweats with like an open flannel, but I don't think you can wear. No. You cannot have a shirt. You can't. No, I'm not going to say that because then you actually will, and I don't want to see that. But no, sorry, that was totally random, but that kind of helps me. I feel like that helps me get an idea of like.
I do remember getting mad at my parents. Like I remember, like I would pick out an outfit, and let's just say like there were, like
it was too casual.
Yeah, it was too casual. I would just be mad. And like looking back, I'm like, yo, they had some good outfits for me. Like, why was I complaining?
Dude, yeah,
and
like
I was out here trying to wear basketball shorts with like a polo shirt,
You're like, it matches.
Be like, it's red and red.
It's red and red. It's fine.
Monochrome, right?
Monochrome matches all the time.
But yeah, I mean, I think for me, like I was always totally fine with it because that's just how I grew up. So I was just like, yeah, this is what I wear to church, and I feel like I still kind of feel like that a little bit. But sorry, that was totally random, and but that helps me kind of understand your guys' thought process from that. But hope we covered that topic well enough. I think that was interesting for sure. Let's quick move into some questions. Looks like we have 2 this week, or sure about 2? 3. What do we have? I don't know. Nope, let's keep going because I don't want to accidentally leave anything in.
You're right. You're right.
So, but
no mistakes this episode.
Do that, and
I'll check. Yeah.
First question comes from our boy Connor. If you could play professional sport, what sport would it be?
If I had the bodily ability to, I would probably play football. Even though, like, 1, it's never really good, and 2, just injury issues. My last 2 years of football, it really precluded me from doing it. But I would play football because I love football.
Okay, cool.
I'm at loss for words for this one because it's torn between 2.
What are they?
I really want to become a professional basketball player, but like the odds of that like ever happening at my size.
If you could, it's just
if I could, basketball.
Okay. What was your second one? Because now I'm curious.
I want to be an Olympic swimmer.
Swimmer. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like basketball would be way more fun.
But Olympic swimmer, like,
I mean, getting them gold medals.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be the next Michael Phelps.
Exactly.
Oof. Ooh.
You race for a couple minutes and you're done.
Dark mode has entered the Michael Phelps dark mode.
Michael Phelps dark mode.
Look, Michael Phelps was from Maryland.
Okay. Oh, really?
I'm from Maryland. I swam in the same swim league as Michael Phelps.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I remember when a bunch of we swam against this Jewish team and they broke all of his records.
What?
Yeah, we got clapped that.
Shoot.
Wow. That meet.
Shoot.
But yeah.
Did like broke his records like when he was your guys' age? Or no?
Mhm.
Like
At
okay,
his-
okay.
So like,
Okay.
when
Not
he was
his
13.
current record.
I was
Not
like,
his current record.
I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
they didn't break his like current Olympic. Okay.
Get these guys to the Olympics.
Okay. Mine should be pretty obvious, but soccer.
Soccer.
Next question from Gavin, the twin, the other one of the two. What is your opinion on the sweatpants policy at Cedarville University? I.e., for anyone who doesn't know, when we go to class and when we go to chapel, we have to wear jeans or up. We have to be presentable. We can wear sweatpants anywhere else, but if we're going to class, chapel, we cannot be wearing sweats.
It is something that is uncommon among colleges. I know you always hear, like, in college, people just wear sweatpants, sort of don't care much about how they dress. Here, we have to be wearing, at the very least, jeans. For me, it seems like something that's a little pointless and not, like, it obviously is, that's not a scriptural thing. Nobody can mistake it for that. And it's something for me that seems like Cedarville trying to hold on to like old traditions that don't make much sense. And I've heard the explanation for it. It's sort of meh. So, and I usually don't like it when people make sort of meh type of arguments.
Okay.
Just because, like, if you can't support your position, why are you doing it? Other than to hold on to the old way.
Okay. Steven?
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I don't like it at all. I've had to buy 4 new pairs of new jeans. So I brought one pair of jeans.
What?
Okay, Kyle. Okay, Kyle. I see you making fun of me back there.
Kyle, our producer, I don't think I've ever seen him wear sweatpants. He's currently wearing jeans. I think we're all in gym shorts or sweatpants because guess what? We're not in class or chapel. Moving forward.
Wait, you don't own sweatpants?
Kyle, the producer, does not own sweatpants. He only wears jeans.
How? Anyways, so one little thing about the sweatpants thing, I have worn sweatpants to class.
Yeah.
My professors have seen me in sweatpants
Yep.
in class. It's really, I believe it's up to the professor.
Yeah.
In chapel, that's a big no-no though.
Yeah.
I got a PC literally the first time I did it. Right on the
I mean,
spot.
because
I got a
literally
text.
all the RAs will be there. So
Yeah,
you'll
exactly.
just...
Yeah.
At least 3 different RAs sitting nearby would probably try to PC you.
Exactly. So like,
Okay.
just obey the rules. Don't be like me.
Okay, so I feel like I have the unpopular opinion, the very unpopular opinion in this. I don't mind the jeans. Even when it's...
I've seen you wear sweatpants though.
I know, and I'll get to that. But even when it's fall, or even when it's like the end of summer and it's like 80 degrees, yeah, they're a little warm, but it's jeans, it's whatever. Couple of things. Again, remember how I grew up. I'm used to just kind of wearing what I'm told to. Also,
Oh boy.
also throughout high school, when I went to that Christian school, our dress code, we couldn't wear sweats. So like, I'm used to wearing jeans to school for years.
Gotcha.
And also, when I go to Guatemala, even though it's like 80, 90 degrees and humid, I still wear jeans because that's a cultural norm. So I'm used to wearing jeans. I don't necessarily mind them. But like you, there are some classes I wear sweats to.
Exactly.
And I ask the professors. I went to, like, last semester, I probably wore sweats to one class significantly more than I wore jeans. Because one time, she actually called me one time. She was like, "Hey, you're supposed to be wearing sweats?" And I was like,
Can I?
and she was like, "You can answer yes or no. Like, I don't care." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, no." And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay, as long as it's not distracting other people, like, sure. Why can't you guys just wear sweats?
As long as you're going to class with pants on.
Right.
I mean, who cares?
Exactly." And like with and with that, I understand. Like, I do understand that side of the argument, because yeah, I mean, sitting in a chair for a while for especially like the Tuesday, Thursday classes that are longer, it wears on you. So like, if profs allow it, every once in a while, yeah.
Ask your prof though.
I'll wear sweats, but like, hey, ask your prof. It's not that bad. But I do see how it makes the students look professional, especially when there's constantly people on
Visits and stuff.
there's constantly people on visits, there's people on campus. Most of the time we don't even know they're there.
Yeah.
You don't even know they're watching. Like, it's a way to just make the student body look presentable, look nice, doesn't look like we're going to class with our pillows and pajama pants to just sleep. And I know that's a really unpopular opinion, but that's just how I've grown up in the schools that I've gone to. So I very much agree with that, and I'm fine with it. That.
With me, like, I don't really see school as an overly professional environment, so I've never understood the arguments for looking professional at school, because you are there primarily to learn. You're not really doing business at school. Now, professors, teachers, faculty, they do, but the students, there's a certain standard of professionalism expected upon the students to be active and engaged listeners. And learners.
If the professors have to wear suits, least we can do is wear jeans.
That's true.
Like,
That's
we
true.
we're a private university. They could be making us wear suits every day to class. There's plenty of like good universities that do that. So like,
look into Pensacola's dress code. I want to see what Pensacola's dress code is.
It's rough, isn't it? It's like super strict.
That school is rough, I've heard.
But it very much so. But I mean, when you look at like high quality schools, it's you
I would
just
say,
gotta
like,
dress more presentable.
Yeah, like I think it's more of a mentality thing too.
Yeah,
because like when you think about it, like, hey, I'm in sweatpants, I'm chillaxing.
Yeah, you're chilling, you're having fun. But hey, I got jeans on now. It's time to learn. It's time to go. It's time to go to chapel. Like, and I'm fine with that.
Gotcha.
But that was kind of a really long answer to that. But because we actually ended up making time here and going a little longer than I expected, we'll wrap this up pretty quickly. But thank you, everyone, for listening. The 5 of you that still do. Be sure to follow us on all of our Instagrams. Noah, what's your Instagram?
At Wretched Angelos.
Hold on. He said his Instagram this time instead of saying bye-bye.
I did.
Oh, good work. I love you, Noah. Steven, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is @Stufferless8.
My Instagram is Anchored Sonder, and make sure to follow us on the @College Years Podcast Instagram. That's where we put updates, like when episode 5 goes down.
Yep. And it's also where I'm announcing the giveaway for the sticker.
That's right.
Yep.
We're still doing the giveaway, the sticker. That's the next thing. Share us on your stories. Give us a shout out. A couple people already have, so you've been entered. You might be able to be a part of
I bought 4 stickers
that.
and only 2 people have shared. So
4 stickers. We're trying to get rid of them. So share and you'll get a sticker, or we'll just put more on our laptops. Or we'll give them to Connor and Gavin because we didn't get them stickers.
Oh, man.
I know. Tell us what you thought. Leave constructive criticism. A couple of you have done that, and it's been super helpful for sure, because we're new at this. We're 6 episodes in to something we want to make for a long time. 7. Wow. Oh, 7 episodes in now. To something we want to make for a long time. So, like, we want to make it good. We want to make it, like, presentable and make sure people are enjoying it. Remember to ask us your questions because we want to answer them and give our opinions. And buy our stickers another time on Redbubble.
They're actually really cheap. They're cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, they're like, Redbubble does pretty good about that. They're pretty cheap. They're Redbubble also does, like, if you buy multiple, you get like crazy discounts. But regardless, if Exhibit A of the back of Noah's laptop. Yep. That's also in our description. But remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. And these were your 3 hosts: Noah the pastor,
At goodbye,
Steven the programmer,
So dumb. Just go. So dumb.
and Johnny the photographer. And you guys have been listening to College Years.